LeBron is coronated King James over at Kings County over at Brooklyn, New York. You see that? Kings County. GOAT King LeBron is coronated King James over at the birthplace of Michael Jordan at Brooklyn, New York. The 2024 NBA Finals also all attribute to the passing of Kobe Bryant. 11 years later, after his first repeat in 2013, 11 years later, GOAT King LeBron wins his second repeat. That's the whole meaning of 112. The NBA's GOAT. The LA Lakers GOAT King LeBron ties Michael the Chicago Bulls. The NBA's GOAT played for the Miami Heat. His name is GOAT King LeBron James. It's crowned that is Gematria 28. It's GOAT King LeBron that's born December 30th of 1984, 22 year, 28-1 life path numerology. GOAT King LeBron is coordinated at the birthplace of Michael Jordan against the Nets. Crown. The Nets have Gematria 28. He wins his 28th game in the NBA Finals against the Nets. And the best case scenario is that the GOAT King LeBron LA show is down 1-2 because of the fact that James is Gematria of 12 and that GOAT King LeBron wins Game 4, Game 5, and Game 6. That this all begins with GOAT King LeBron has 28 wins in his career in the NBA Finals. The Nets, coronated, being eliminated by Phoenix, losing the first round to Phoenix. Phoenix Gematria of 91, incarnate. The crowning happens at the birthplace of Michael Jordan. We all bow down to the King! LeBron RAYMONE James! His 20th season in the NBA, his 5th ring against the Celtics. Year 21, 6th ring. It's all complete, folks. It's all complete. Bow down to the King, the greatest player ever, LeBron RAYMONE James. The Pelicans humiliation ritual last year in the first round. GOAT King LeBron signed with the Lakers July the 9th, 7-9. For the purple and gold, bow down to the King, GOAT King LeBron, coordinated at the birthplace of Michael Jordan at Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York has Gematria 79. So does Irving. 25 years. It's 2023. It's NBA's GOAT. It's LA Lakers. That's Gematria 79. This is what this is all about. Brooklyn, New York. The greatest player ever. GOAT King LeBron. 26 years later, GOAT King LeBron wins after Jordan's 6th ring. Bryant, Jordan, and God have Gematria 26. 77 prior finals, 78th NBA Finals. I tie that into Kobe in his birth year. Crown of the Sea, Legendary Lake Show, 77 numerology. Durant is going to be in the 78th NBA Finals in 2024. GOAT King LeBron will beat Kevin Durant. The Lakers faced off against the Nets in 2002. 22 years later, GOAT King LeBron faces off. 22 years later, the Lakers face off against the Nets, and Durant will be 2-2 in the NBA Finals against GOAT King LeBron after GOAT King LeBron beats Boston the prior year for GOAT King LeBron James. Not only is it the LA Lakers and the NBA's GOAT that's Gematria 40, but GOAT King LeBron in his career is going to win 16 playoff series, 16 playoff games against the Nets. He's going to be 4-0 in the playoff series-wise against the Brooklyn Nets. That's the whole Gematria. The NBA's GOAT and the LA Lakers having Gematria 40. And so GOAT King LeBron against the Nets right here. He defeats him 4-2. Well, let's check it out here. Let's check it out. It's not 4-0, perhaps. So there's Nets. The first time right there, GOAT King LeBron against the Nets while they're in New Jersey. He beats the Nets right there. 21-6 playoff record, his 21st season, his 6th ring. En route to his 30th win in the NBA Finals, GOAT King LeBron will be 3-0 playoff series-wise against the Brooklyn Nets. LeBron will be 6-6 in the NBA Finals. Crown in Spanish, Corona. LeBron, Gematria 66-30. 30 wins in the NBA Finals. 12 wins against the Nets. James has Gematria 12. Lakers has Gematria 66. He's 6-6 in the NBA Finals. The time Michael Jordan the Bulls. Bulls has Gematria 66. This is all going to play out. Kobe was buried at La Corona del Mar, the crown of the sea. GOAT King LeBron ties Michael Jordan over by the sea at Brooklyn at New York City. La Corona del Mar Gematria of 132 is the Gematria of LeBron RAYMONE James in Scottish Rite Gematria. Go Yankees. And so continuing on right here, 23-24 seasons of 47th season. GOAT King LeBron will win his 47th playoff series to become the greatest ever, to win his 6th ring. Michael Jordan won his 6th ring against the Utah Jazz. The greatest to match at 47. GOAT King LeBron becomes the greatest. The amount of time from Kobe's death, January 26th, to June the 20th. I'm picking this finals to end on June the 20th because 6 and 20 adds up to 26. 26 years later, Michael Jordan. 4 years, 4 months later, a little over 4 months, that's Gematria of Chosen One. That's Gematria of the repeat, Gematria 44. 4 year, 4 months, 4 years, 4 months, look at that. 4 year, 4 months, that's close to 4 years in 5 months when we round up to 4 years and 5 months. Now that's Gematria of New Orleans. That's who they got Anthony Davis from. Anthony Davis, the trade was agreed upon on June the 15th. The amount of time to that day leaves us with over 60 months. Again, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, New York City, Gematria 60. Michael Jordan is 6-0 in the NBA Finals. He'd be 60 years old at the beginning of the season. 5 years, 5 days later, Anthony Davis may win his 55th playoff game in his career against the Nets to win the repeat, because it is Davis that's Gematria of 55 for the Lakers' 19th championship, with Brooklyn native Mark Jackson as the coach. "55 wins for Anthony Davis when he wins the repeat, with the greatest ever GOAT King LeBron James. LeBron number 6, purple and gold, greatest ever, the Chicago Bulls. The 11 years later, at the 11th state, New York, for his second repeat. Again, these are very key connections to make. This Nets-Lakers rematch happens 22 years after 21 prior seasons. It is Lakers and title and LeBron James initials. That's Gematria of 22. So GOAT King LeBron, remember, 3-0 against the Nets to win his 30th playoff game. He won his... so when we're going up to the last time that he beat the Brooklyn Nets, when they had Kevin Garnett and... when they had Kevin Garnett... the GOAT King LeBron's 58th playoff series in his career happens to tie Michael Jordan. His 58th playoff series of his career. You know why that's significant? Because the C is Gematria 58. Nets, Gematria 58. Los Angeles Lakers is Gematria 58. Also, it is the Miami Heat that has Gematria of 58 in the calculator. His 58th playoff series against the Nets over at the C. It is C itself that has Gematria of 25. 25 seasons concluded. The 26th season since Michael Jordan's 6th ring, GOAT King LeBron will win. The amount of time from Kobe's death to GOAT King LeBron surpassing Kobe. 53 months later. 53 months later, Brooklyn Nets is Jumanji 53. Anthony Davis is Jumanji 53. King LeBron is Jumanji 53. So 52 months entering the NBA Finals. Coronation. Prophecies Jumanji 52. Kobe 5-2 in the finals, being ritually sacrificed. It's all a ritual sacrifice of Kobe. He outed himself knowing GOAT King LeBron was going to surpass him. It is all happening that way. So we got Kobe's death. We've got the Anthony Davis trade. 5 years, 5 days from the time that it's been agreed upon. 60 months and 5 days is a lot like 65, like the gematria of repeat. On the side of the Brooklyn Nets, there have been 77 prior NBA Finals, and their last appearance was against the San Antonio Spurs, the Brooklyn Nets. Now, this is interesting because GOAT King LeBron's last repeat was against the San Antonio Spurs. So the Nets, after 2003, make it to the finals again 21 years later. So we're connecting the Nets-Lakers rematch to 22 and Boston, and then the Nets' next appearance in the NBA Finals will happen 21 years against the Lakers, but they won't win a title. So connecting C with GOAT King LeBron, making it back the Lakers-Nets rematch 22 years later. GOAT King LeBron goes 3-0 in the NBA Finals with the Lakers to win his 30th NBA Finals game of his career, to go 3-0 against the Nets in his career. So the last matchup against the Nets occurred for GOAT King LeBron's 96 playoff win of his career. It's LeBron Durant, or hold on a second. LeBron Durant's gematria 59. That's also gematria of Michael Jordan. LeBron versus Durant, or James versus Durant. LeBron versus Durant, not in the 77th NBA Finals, but after 77 prior NBA Finals. So that is a very significant tribute. That is a very significant thing to look out for when we're breaking this all down. So 26 years later, GOAT King LeBron ties Michael Jordan after Jordan's 6th ring. 26 playoff series wins later against the Nets, GOAT King LeBron ties Michael Jordan to surpass Bryant. Again, Bryant and Jordan have gematria of 26. Literally, this is all happening that amount of time later. GOAT King LeBron is 12-1. LeBron's 13th playoff series with the Lakers happens to clinch this repeat. LA's gematria 13, Nets is gematria 13. Again, 13 prior repeats. He's 12-1. Revelation. GOAT King LeBron ties Michael Jordan. He's coronated King James. 12-1. He dethrones the Warriors. GOAT King LeBron finishes 12-1 in his playoff career with the Lakers. 12 playoff series wins for James. 11 prior, before going to New York, the 11th state. So that was 96 playoff wins and his 206th playoff win. I'm going to talk about that in the LA Lakers Show video. 110 wins later. Now, 109 is gematria of Cornet. He'd be one win away from tying Michael Jordan. The 110, we'll need to do a little bit of digging with that. But we need to go to Kobe quickly. Kobe was 6'6". GOAT King LeBron is going to be 6-6 in the NBA Finals. Michael Jordan was also 6'6". February the 7th, Brian and Stella were buried in a private funeral. Corona Del Mar. 2-7 is the March of Miami. February the 7th. And so, right here, just a little over 71 months. A little over 71 months. GOAT King LeBron becomes the greatest of all time. Greatest of all times, Jumanji 71. Greatest NBA player, Jumanji 72. GOAT King LeBron. The crown virus is the coronavirus. The Lakers won the title at the bubble. GOAT King LeBron is 5-6 over at the Big Apple. First matchup since for the Lakers against the Nets since they were over at New Jersey as the New Jersey Nets. And the coronavirus and GOAT King LeBron takes his crown. The coronavirus is the purple and gold virus. Crown virus. GOAT King LeBron takes the crown to celebrate the end of the pandemic. When we celebrate the complete end of the pandemic. February the 7th is 7-2, and 72 months later, GOAT King LeBron from his signing is going to win. It's going to tie Michael Jordan. The purple and gold. The coronavirus is the purple and gold virus. You see the symbolism with GOAT King LeBron? You better see it. July the 9th. It's very clear. 6 years later, GOAT King LeBron. 6th ring. They make it pretty obvious. The crowning is here. The crowning of James. It's all happening. The crowning of LeBron as the March of 223. Brooklyn, New York, at the birthplace of Michael Jordan. La Corona. 34 playoff wins when he's one win away from tying Michael Jordan. La Corona, the crown, has Gematria LeBron Raymone James, has Gematria of Brooklyn, New York. It's time to bow down to the king, people. That's what the symbolism is all about right here, folks. It's happening. It's happening.